bounce when you heard him say that he was auditioning for this job. That was his first interview for this position.
By the end of this video, you'll understand why Mark Golding says Dennis Chung is the face of government corruption and why the Holness administration might be playing the most dangerous political chess game yet. Is this just a simple job appointment or a calculated political move? In this explosive expert breakdown, we dive deep into the controversial appointment of Dennis Chung as Chief Technical Director of the FID and break down why opposition leader Mark Golding is calling it a symbol of government corruption. We'll explore the political battle lines drawn between the People's National Party (PNP) and the Holness-led Jamaica Labour Party (JLP), the protest at National Hero Circle, and the growing concern that Jamaica's top anti-corruption agencies are being systematically weakened. Watch as we connect the dots. Why was law enforcement removed from FID's mandate? Does Dennis Chung's lack of investigative background raise red flags? Is this appointment part of a broader strategy to dismantle independent oversight before general elections? What are the implications for Jamaica's fight against corruption? This is the video the powers that be don't want you to see. Packed with political drama, shocking revelations, expert analysis, and a few doses of humor and sarcasm to keep it real. By the end of this video, you'll understand what's really at stake and who stands to benefit. Join the conversation. What do you think about Dennis Chung's appointment? Is Jamaica weakening its anti-corruption institutions before the next election? Comment below. We're featuring the best ones in the next episode. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more uncensored breakdowns of Jamaican politics, corruption, and power moves. Let's get straight to it. The Financial Investigations Division, or FID, is Jamaica's financial watchdog, the place where money trails go to die. It's like our own Jamaican FBI, except apparently someone just unplugged the law enforcement part. Yes, you heard that right. Law enforcement was quietly removed from FID's job description, and bam! Next thing you know, Dennis Chung pops up like a plot twist nobody saw coming. Now Mark Golding and the opposition are saying this no smell right. But is this really about Dennis Chung, or is it a part of a bigger political power play? Let's follow the money, shall we? Enter Mark Golding, opposition leader, PNP president, and now the unofficial voice of Rescue Jamaica. This appointment is a symbol of government corruption. Bold words. But the real story isn't just that Dennis Chung got the job. It's how he got it, why the PNP is fuming, and what this means for the future of anti-corruption in Jamaica. And trust me, once you hear the full breakdown, you will realize this is bigger than a job appointment. It's a war over who gets to control the truth. Who do you trust more to handle corruption in Jamaica? The Holness administration or Mark Golding's PNP? Let's settle this in the comments. Let's talk Dennis Chung, accountant, media commentator, former JUTC chairman, and now the chief technical director of the FID. But here's the kicker. Dennis has zero law enforcement experience, and now the FID, which used to be under law enforcement, has mysteriously had that part of its job scrubbed out like a typo in a government audit. Convenient, isn't it? Now let's add spice. Senator Peter Bunting, who actually used to be Chung's boss, is calling him a JLP apologist. Senator Donna Scott Motley says Chung is compromised based on his past comments defending the PM. Peter Phillips says the PNP will not relent until he is removed. This is not just protest, it's full-blown political combustion. Should Dennis Chung step down from the FID? Comment yes or no and tell us why. JLP's counterattack. The response, the JLP. Oh, they are not backing down. In fact, they've come out swinging. At a fire press conference, Senator Abka Fitz-Henley called the PNP protest asinine. That's right, big word energy. He also accused them of trying to bully the government into improper conduct. And Senator Marlon Morgan, he went nuclear, calling the PNP the most corrupt political party in the English-speaking Caribbean. Whew. No punches pulled. So now we have the Holness administration defending Chung, the PNP accusing Chung of bias, and Jamaicans caught in the middle wondering, why was law enforcement removed from the FID in the first place? Be honest, do you think Jamaica is slowly dismantling its anti-corruption institutions? Drop your take below. The most hot comment gets pinned next. Connect the dots. Let's break this down like a political expert analyst. Before, FID was a branch of the Ministry of Finance with investigative teeth tied to law enforcement. Now, no law enforcement function, just a nice, clean technical division. Then boom, Dennis Chung gets appointed. No police background, no financial crimes investigation experience. So ask yourself, why restructure the agency, then appoint someone who's not qualified under the old rules? Political maneuvering, strategic neutering of anti-corruption watchdogs, or just good old-fashioned jobs for the boys? Whatever it is, it doesn't pass the smell test. Public office should serve the people, not personal cover-up. Agree or disagree? React with a fire emoji if you're tired of the games. Unanswered questions. But wait, this story is not finished. There's one question nobody is answering. Is this just step one in a wider government move to dismantle oversight before the next general election? Because if they can quietly gut the FID, what's stopping them from going after the Integrity Commission, the Auditor General, or any other agency that digs too deep? Mark Golding thinks that's exactly what's happening. And this appointment just the canary in the coal mine. But the JLP says that's nonsense. So who's lying? Stay with me. Fact or cap? The FID is being stripped of power to protect political elites. Let's debate in the comments. Bring your receipts. Here's a summary of the highlights and the key points. Here's what you need to remember. The FID's law enforcement powers were removed quietly. Dennis Chung was appointed right after with no investigative background. The PNP sees this as a symbol of deep government corruption. The JLP says the PNP is just being bitter and irrelevant. And Jamaicans left asking, who's watching the money now? If you were Prime Minister, what would you do with the FID? Drop your plan like you're running for 2025. So now it's over to you. Do you think Dennis Chung is qualified to lead Jamaica's financial watchdog? Or is this just another chapter in a political playbook to weaken oversight? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you think this kind of information needs to reach more Jamaicans. Don't just like, share it, because when watchdogs lose their teeth, corruption becomes king. Subscribe for more no-spin breakdowns of Jamaica's biggest political drama, from scandal to strategy. And hey, we're just getting started. Do you believe Dennis Chung is just a scapegoat or a willing player in the system? This one will get spicy. Let's hear your theories in the comments.
It is nothing to do with bad mind. It is good mind at play. Good mind supporting good governance. Good mind fighting against corruption. Good mind standing against conflicts of interest. Good mind standing against cronyism and nepotism. And for the Prime Minister to call upon his supporters to protest today against bad mind was a new low in the governance of this country and reflects a desperation that he feels because he knows that the people of Jamaica have had enough of this government under his leadership and they want change, and we will deliver change.
Well, I want every Labourite to protest against this hypocrisy tomorrow. I want every Labourite, wherever you are, to protest in your workplace, to protest in the market, to protest wherever you are at the bad mindism of the PNP that is trying to bring down the progress of the people. Stand up, Labourites. Stand up for justice. Stand up for truth. Stand up against the PNP.
Ethical government, honest government, government in which the people can have trust must be at the center of the delivery of those programs and solutions. And this Dennis Chung situation is symptomatic of the erosion and corruption of governance in this country. And that is why we are standing here today to register our peaceful protest. Ethical government, honest government, government in which the people can have trust must be at the center of the delivery of those programs and solutions. And this Dennis Chung situation is symptomatic of the erosion and corruption of governance in this country. And that is why we are standing here today to register our peaceful protest.
That individual is Dennis Chung, a known apologist, a known defender of the Prime Minister and the JLP, a known person who publicly attacked under the pretense of being a commentator, an independent commentator. He attacked the report of the Integrity Commission. No self-respecting accountant, much less if he had any training in forensic accounting, which he doesn't. None, without seeing all the evidence available to the Integrity Commission, would have made such stupid and silly statements.
By way of its protest, the PNP, at the expense of stability in the country and the people's good name and reputation, is simply seeking to energize its base and boost support for its historically corrupt party as it limps toward the impending general elections. In a most vulgar, desperate, and despicable manner, the opposition, PNP, is using this protest to mislead its base and deceive other members of the public through reckless and irresponsibly engineered, contrived, and manufactured rage on the basis of a crisis that does not exist. The PNP claims to be standing up for good governance when they themselves are the architects and proponents of bad governance. They claim to be rescuing Jamaica from corruption when in fact they are the architects and masters of corruption in this country. In fact, many regard the PNP as the most corrupt political party in the Caribbean.
Nothing wrong with his bank accounts. When you heard him say that he was auditioning for this job, that was his first interview for this position.
The PNP considers the Prime Minister's remarks not only reckless but dangerous. In a society with a history of politically driven violence, such statements pose a serious risk to public safety and directly undermine the spirit and the letter of the political code of conduct, which was signed by both major political parties. Following the Prime Minister's statements, as reported by one media house, a counter-protest was subsequently held near the site of the PNP's demonstration, placing citizens at risk and further validating concerns about political provocation and public disorder.
On my way here, I saw a clip where a PNP candidate, Isaac Buchanan, who, it's a matter of public record, is a convicted cocaine smuggler and has served time in the United States. He stated on a political platform that Dennis Chung will not and should not serve as Chief Technical Director of the FID. How ironic, how asinine, how contemptuous of the sensibilities of the Jamaican people. But this is the conduct of the PNP. This is a trend, an established DNA where they attack public servants and key office holders who they feel they cannot control. The Jamaica Labour Party condemns what we are advised are calls placed and messages sent by at least 4 senior members of the PNP and their surrogates to close associates of the Chief Technical Director of the FID, advising that in the interest of his family, he should decline the appointment. This action by senior members of the PNP is tantamount to inappropriate conduct and serious intimidation being leveled at a Jamaican who has served this country across various administrations. This media conference is not a defense of Dennis Chung. It is a condemnation of the PNP's insistence that the administration improperly interferes in a process supervised by and coordinated by an independent body. The action taken by the PNP this morning in the vicinity of National Hero Circle is vulgar and inappropriate, and the administration will not be bullied into taking action which would represent a breach of due process. The PNP was not moved to protest when the security forces and customs caught approximately 240 deadly weapons which criminals were seeking to bring into this country. They did not seek to protest and take to the streets when a 9-year-old was brutally killed. They did not seek to take to the streets of Jamaica when Melissa Silvera was gunned down. Senior member of the PNP was taken into custody and accused of murder. They have sought to take to the streets of Jamaica and protest to force the administration of the day to take inappropriate action and intervene in a transparent process supervised by the Public Services Commission of Jamaica. We trust that the people of Jamaica will take careful note.